What's good, everybody? So we're going to be talking about Sigrika today. I've had some time to play around with her, to build her, to use her in TOA and in Whimpering Wastes, and I finally have some thoughts whether or not I actually enjoy this character or not, and if she's probably worth something that you should be picking up or not. So just to show you quickly what I'm rocking with Sigrika right now, here we are. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing insane, but it's absolutely enough to do the job of every single endgame right now. 2.5k attack, 150 ER, we got 65 crit rate and 256 crit damage right now. Guys, I'm also rocking, where are we? 22% arrow damage, because yes, I have gone with doing energy regen and an attack echo. And you can see right here, we're kind of scraping the barrel right now, okay? We're scraping the barrel of what we could be considered usable when it comes to Sigrika, but it is enough to absolutely get her going and moving. How does she actually feel to play? I'm really surprised. I didn't expect to enjoy her as much as I have. I really didn't. There's something really charming about the way that she plays. She's very quick. It's very snappy. I love generating the runes and using them. I think it's pretty awesome. I'm going to yap about her kit as I'm running through this tacit nest real quick. I really enjoy and like the fact that Kuro has taken this approach of actually kind of like diversifying character kits. It's not just like they just have one thing they do, one rotation, and that's it forever. They're slowly introducing, there are more things you can do. For example, Lene is a great example of whether or not she could be like a Toon Strain or Toon Rupture character, or she's like Toon Strain. Like, that's pretty interesting. We have Imith, of course, who could be used for a Fusion Burst, or with like to be a Toon Break character and really profit off that. And now we have Sigrika, right? Who she's able to do multiple different things depending on how you want to use her, right? Like we see these two little runes at the bottom, the little Soli skins that are, depending on what you use, change the way that she plays. The two suns, and you're able to stagnate enemies. You have a sun and a moon together. You're able, right, to do a lot more damage. Two moons together and you're able to actually group enemies, which is useful in Quiyuan, right? Like, I'm really enjoying and loving the fact that they're continuing this trend of providing, more options for you to actually play characters, because that's something that I've really been looking for out of Wuthering. Like, I've kind of had a complaint for a little bit of like just rotation swap characters, of just doing the same thing over and over again, but now having the option of choice that isn't just like an illusion of choice that sometimes you might think, an actual option of changing the way that you actually play the character, changes the results of the damage you do and how it affects the mobs, I think is pretty awesome. So I do really like that about Sigrika, that it carries on that trend. And as we said, being able to use like double moon runes in Quiyuan is great for grouping enemies, as you'll see my Quiyuan gameplay in a bit. I think it's pretty awesome. And then in TOA, being able to stagnate enemies also really helps. So that is like definitely awesome. However, there is one thing about her kit that does kind of bother me a little bit, I guess you could say, especially when you're facing, right, single target enemies with Sigrika. And that is if you miss your enhanced heavy attack, because as you know, you have to do your enhanced heavy in order to progress and get your extra 2 runes to get the 4. If you miss, it's kind of almost a restart situation, and you'll be surprised how often you'll actually miss like the heavy attacks. At least I found that, and I always get frustrated. I'm having a really good run and I ended up missing. I'm like, damn, like the range of the enhanced heavy doesn't seem to be as far as you think. So obviously that's not a problem in something like Quiyuan when you're fighting a lot of groups of enemies, but as soon as you're facing a single target, you're more likely to actually like miss your enhanced heavy, which kind of ruins your whole flow a little bit. So that's kind of like one of the main nitpicks I actually have with her kit itself, is the amount of times I've just missed that enhanced heavy. Now, Sigrika is a pretty high-performing DPS. She deals a lot of damage. I'm almost getting 300k, like, booby booms right now when she's S0. But I'm using, again, one of her best teams with Shorekeeper and Quiyuan, because as we all know, Quiyuan's really the only 5-star Echo skill buffer that's good enough to do the job for what Sigrika needs. He provides a lot of amplification on his outro, paired with Sigrika's weapon, weapon, who also gives you a lot of like increased damage from her echo skills. She's able to output a lot of damage, but that also comes at the cost of she doesn't really fit into a lot of other teams to make use of. So if you don't have Quiyuan currently, you might be thinking, I don't know if it's even worth pulling on this character, but it is possible to use Morny and Lene, as we know, the premium wheelchair team, okay? It's this thing, use Morny and Lene plus any DPS that they can clear all content, and I'm gonna be honest, that is no different here. Using Morny and Lene with Sigrika in this TOA reset is absolutely viable, and I almost did it like the same time as I did Showkeeper and Quiyuan, okay? So if you're really just gonna want to pull on a whim, as long as you have Morny and Lene, you're gonna be able to use Sigrika. But obviously, I know a lot of you are probably wanting to save your Morny and Lene for like your Imyths or like for your Luke or someone else. This is a very, very in-demand duo for a lot of teams, okay? So like maybe if you have a lot of people that rely on this wheelchair comp, Sigrika probably isn't someone you maybe have like a lot of value in pulling for. But if you have a spare Quiyuan, then it's definitely worth probably taking a gander at if you want a good aero DPS, especially if you don't have Carter's Thea, for example, or you don't even have Yuna, right? If you this is your first foray into aero DPSs, then maybe she's worth picking up. But again, I don't think Quiyuan's had a rerun for a while, so I think a lot of people who are even like new to WoWa right now won't have Quiyuan either. So that makes it even more difficult to kind of recommend if you're a new player. If you have Morny and Lene, you could use Sigrika for sure, but just bear in mind how many teams you can use. If you have a Quiyuan, right, you've got Galbrenna, you've got Quiyuan, right, because, you know, again, Galbrenna being an echo skill damage user, and you get Sigrika too. You could use Sigrika or Quiyuan that frees up your Galbrenna to use like a mono fusion team, right? You could have Mornier, Lupa, Galbrenna, or like someone like Galbrenna can use a bunch of other teams too. So it actually kind of frees up your Quiyuan for something else and somewhere else, so you can have more teams in your like what's it, a Deadly Pawn boss, whatever it's called these days. I don't even know what the name of it is anymore. But I had a lot of fun playing both of these teams in TOA, and I'll be honest, I actually really like the Sigrika Quiyuan team. It just feels so nice and snappy to play, and I have a lot of fun doing it. But again, when you're using Sigrika on floor 4 against like Mephis and False Sovereign, there is a tendency to miss the enhanced heavies, and I found myself resetting quite a bit because of that. So it's something to bear in mind. That's probably like a holy skill issue moment, but also something to bear in mind. Now, let's talk about Whimpering Wastes, okay? Oh my goodness, let's talk about Whimpering Waste, okay? I have a hate relationship with Whimpering Wastes, okay? I don't like it. I've never liked it. Like, sometimes it'll have resets where the tokens are shit, everything feels so difficult to play, and it's absolutely garbo. But this time, this is one of the easiest Whimpering Waste resets I've literally ever done. Again, using Showkeeper Quiyuan and Sigrika with this token right here. Total aero damage is increased by 35%. Enemies take 30% more echo skill damage, which is on top. If you have like this token with Sigrika's weapon, okay, the echo damage with Quiyuan, the amplification, oh my goodness, you're dealing so much damage that like everything just melts. I played this team badly, okay? I was so inefficient, I probably didn't play it right, but I was using the grouping mode. Again, if you can use the 2 moon runes, so when you do your basics and then you hold your skill in order to get the 2 moons rather than spamming your basics, like, bro, the amount of damage you do is absolutely crazy. And I was kind of pissing about, and we still got like triple S out of like WoWa. Everyone S0, everyone with their weapon, apart from Quiyuan, he does not have his weapon. You don't need it, just Emerald of Genesis, you're all good. But Sigrika, like, she really ate up WoWa, and I don't know if she's just really good in WoWa, or this token's just kind of busted. Like, I can't decide which one it is, but she just, like, absolutely ate up this WoWa reset right now. So, hey, maybe it's just the luck of the draw. Maybe this token is just too giga busted for her, or she actually performs well. I think the real test is probably going to be the next update of Quiyuan, and we're seeing how she performs there when her token is maybe less shield, and maybe we have an aero damage increase token, just a general run, and we see how she's going to perform. Because as we all know, she just really wants echo skill damage. That's it. She wants echo skill damage. So like, I don't know how often we're going to get this token in Whimpering Wastes. So we'll see as she progresses. But right now for this reset, she absolutely demolishes it. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. Yeah, she absolutely diabolical. So is Sigrika really worth picking up? And the answer is, if you have Quiyuan, sure, why not? An extra character to add to your roster, to your teams, because if you care about endgame, if you care about end state matrix and really maxing it out and going as far as you can, and you have a special UN lying around and you have a Brenna or whatever it is, she's worthwhile to pick up just for the added, you know, team diversity. But if you're someone who's free to play, I just would not recommend pulling her if you are free to play. Not until they add 4-star echo support units in the game, or a good 4-star alternative weapon for echo skill users. Like, that needs to happen. I cannot in good faith recommend her to be a pull if you're free to play, unless you're already equipped and like she's your favorite and you want her and you already have everything. Then fine, you know, go ahead, right? At the end of the day, pull for whoever you like, but I cannot in good faith recommend her if you're a free to play. But failing that, she performs really well if you do get her. But right now, Wu is in a state where there are a lot of teams that are pretty good and pretty strong that could do a lot of the content. So you have a lot of options right now. And luckily, Kuro does a lot of reruns, and the anniversary is coming up, where you'll probably be able to have a lot more choice in who you want to pull for teams. So do not fret. She will have a rerun as well later down the line. So maybe we'll have more information, or maybe more echo skill users. Who knows? Fingers crossed. That's really kind of it. So would I recommend her? Again, it's up to you, but I've been having a lot of fun with her, and her NK performance right now is absolutely stellar. So I love it. I appreciate y'all. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.